Bai Lu's boyfriend reportedly confronted Rui Peng at drama rap party. The drama behind the drama just got even more intense. While fans were busy celebrating the successful wrap-up of the highly anticipated series starring Bai Lu and Rui Peng, an explosive moment allegedly unfolded behind the scenes, one that no one saw coming. According to reports circulating in close circles and whispered among staffers, Bai Lu's boyfriend reportedly confronted her co-star Rui Peng during the rap party in a tense and dramatic showdown that left guests stunned and phones suspiciously tucked away. The speculation had already been bubbling for weeks. On-screen chemistry between Bai Lu and Rui Peng was being dissected frame by drama fans who noticed how real it all felt. But few could have predicted that what started as subtle glances and playful banter on set would escalate into one of the biggest off-screen controversies to shake the Chinese entertainment industry this year. So what really happened that night? And what does it say about the relationships brewing behind the cameras? We've gathered insider whispers, production rumors, and public speculation to piece together a moment that may have changed the dynamic between three major stars forever. From on-screen lovers to real-life trouble, the drama, a romantic historical series that brought together the fierce elegance of Bai Lu and the rising intensity of Rui Peng, was already pegged as a hit. Their chemistry was undeniable, sharp, yet vulnerable, scripted, yet strikingly natural. For months, social media platforms lit up with clips of behind-the-scenes interactions that some fans swore looked far too genuine to be just acting. Even during interviews, Rui Peng would often glance toward Bai Lu with a half-smile or make witty remarks that had both fans and reporters raising their eyebrows. Bai Lu, though more reserved, didn't shy away from laughing at his jokes or giving him supportive nudges that only further fueled the gossip mill. Behind the scenes, crew members started noticing subtle shifts. Extra rehearsals between the two, lingering conversations after filming, and private car pickups that happen minutes apart became the sort of low-key details that rarely stay secret for long. The production staff stayed silent, as is often the case, but according to a source who requested anonymity, it was obvious something was happening. Whether it was emotional or physical, there was a real connection. Everyone felt it. But not everyone was thrilled by what was brewing. Enter the boyfriend. Silent no more. Bai Lu has always kept her romantic life under tight wraps. Known for her poise and professionalism, she rarely confirms or denies dating rumors, preferring to let the public focus on her work. But industry insiders have long whispered about her relationship with a well-known figure, an older, influential actor-turned-producer with enough pull to keep his name out of tabloids and his presence off social media. For over a year, the rumored relationship remained low-key, with only a few sightings in quiet restaurants or airport lounges fueling speculation. Sources close to the matter insist the pair had been serious, with even talks of working together on future productions. Which is why the tension reportedly reached its boiling point at the drama's wrap party. Held in a private hall inside one of Beijing's luxury hotels, the event was meant to be a celebration. Cast, crew, producers, and close friends gathered to mark the end of months of hard work. But just as the evening was reaching its most festive point, a surprise guest arrived, Bai Lu's boyfriend. According to multiple witnesses who spoke on condition of anonymity, his arrival was anything but casual. It wasn't the type of event where you'd just walk in uninvited, said one staffer. When he showed up, people were stunned. It got quiet for a moment. You could feel it shift. The confrontation. He walked straight up to him. Eyewitnesses described the moment as tense and deliberate. The boyfriend reportedly entered the hall, scanned the room, and made a direct beeline toward Rui Peng, who had been chatting with fellow cast members near the drink station. He didn't raise his voice, another source shared, but his face said it all. He walked straight up to Rui Peng, stood right in front of him, and said something that made the whole group go quiet. No videos have surfaced, likely due to the strict no-phone policy enforced by the producers that night. But according to several insiders, what followed was a short but loaded exchange. There was no shouting, but the energy was intense, said another source. He was calm, but clearly angry. Rui Peng didn't back down either. He looked confused at first, maybe surprised, but he stood his ground. The conversation reportedly lasted under 2 minutes before Bai Lu, who had been on the other side of the room, was pulled aside and joined them. Witnesses say her expression changed the moment she saw the two men face to face. She reportedly whispered something to her boyfriend, who then turned and walked away from the actor, but not before muttering a final comment and leaving the party altogether. Rui Peng, looking visibly uncomfortable but composed, returned to his table and continued the evening with less enthusiasm. Bai Lu followed shortly after but seemed distracted for the rest of the night. Industry fallout, whispers of tension and recasting rumors. In the days following the party, both stars have remained silent on the incident. No posts, no interviews, no denials. But within industry circles, the fallout is being felt. According to a senior manager at a production company affiliated with the drama, talks about a potential sequel, which had previously been moving forward, are now on hold. Other sources claim that producers are considering recasting Rui Peng's role should the sequel get greenlit, worried about the drama off-camera spilling into marketing and fan reception. There's money involved, reputation, branding, one producer noted. If the audience senses real-life tension, it could change how they see the romance on screen. Sometimes, even too much chemistry can become a liability. Meanwhile, Rui Peng's team has reportedly ramped up PR efforts, quietly trying to separate his image from the situation. Whether or not the confrontation was truly romantic jealousy, professional boundary setting, or something else entirely, remains unclear. Fans divided, romance or just a misunderstanding. Online, fans are fiercely divided. Hashtags like #BaiLuRapParty and #AORuiPengConfrontation began trending across Chinese microblogs and Weibo hours after anonymous posts hinted at the confrontation. Some fans fiercely defend Rui Peng, calling him an innocent party caught in a web of insecurity. Others point fingers at Bai Lu for allegedly allowing too close interactions on set despite being in a committed relationship. Still others argue that the entire moment was blown out of proportion, just a protective boyfriend concerned about public perception, not infidelity. I think people want drama so badly, they forget actors are human, one fan posted. What if AO and Bai were just friends? Isn't it possible to have chemistry without romance? Others aren't so sure. Behind the curtain, was it more than just a confrontation? As the dust from the rap party confrontation settles, more details are starting to seep out. Quiet leaks from makeup artists, production assistants, and even stylists who were privy to behind-the-scenes dynamics long before the final scene was shot. What emerges from these whispers is a tangled web of flirtation, miscommunication, and perhaps even emotional betrayal that might have simmered for months before boiling over in one very public, very uncomfortable moment. According to a source close to the production, tensions between Bai Lu and her boyfriend had been mounting long before the rap party. He visited the set a few times under the radar, they revealed. You could tell he was observing more than just the production. He was watching how she interacted with Rui Peng. On at least 2 occasions, the boyfriend reportedly stayed in the background while scenes were being filmed, often standing next to the director or sitting near the monitors. His presence was known but never acknowledged. Everyone just kind of pretended he wasn't there, the source said. But you could tell something was off. Bai Lu wasn't her usual self those days, more tense, less talkative. If true, this would suggest that the confrontation at the rap party wasn't an impulsive moment fueled by alcohol or jealousy. It was premeditated, a culmination of careful observation and perhaps even warning signs ignored. The hidden messages on set, more than meets the eye. Crew members now say that the dynamic between Bai Lu and Rui Peng may have crossed professional lines without necessarily becoming romantic. There was definitely a closeness, one makeup artist shared. Sometimes they'd sit together during breaks, talking in hushed tones. She once brought him coffee from a place that's really far from the studio. It felt personal. Other rumors suggest that Rui Peng, who has been relatively new to leading roles of this magnitude, leaned on Bai Lu for emotional support during the project. She kind of took him under her wing, a lighting technician offered. But even then, the vibe sometimes felt more than friendly. You don't look at your co-star like that unless there's something under the surface. Interestingly, several staffers recall moments when Bai Lu seemed conflicted, flustered after long rehearsals with Ao, distracted after phone calls. One assistant claimed to have seen her quietly wiping her eyes after a tense conversation near her trailer, although no one knows what was said or who was on the other end of the call. And then there's the final week of filming, often the most emotional for any cast, but reportedly even more so on the set. According to an insider, she and Ao had a long hug after their last scene together. It wasn't just a goodbye. It felt like the end of something deeper. Damage control in motion. Silence speaks loudest. In the aftermath, both stars' management teams have reportedly gone into full lockdown mode. Media inquiries are being deflected with standard statements, and any internal interviews or press briefings have been postponed indefinitely. The goal right now is to control the narrative by saying nothing, said a PR executive at a competing agency. Silence gives them deniability. The minute someone speaks, even to deny, it validates the story. But silence also fuels speculation. Fans and insiders are now analyzing every public move, every scheduled event. Bai Lu was recently spotted at a fashion event in Shanghai, alone, composed, but uncharacteristically guarded. No interaction with fans, no interviews. Just a brief appearance and a quick exit. Rui Peng, on the other hand, has seemingly gone underground. His team canceled a fan meet and greet originally planned to celebrate the wrap of the drama. His social media accounts haven't posted anything in over 2 weeks, a noticeable silence for someone previously active. As for Bai Lu's boyfriend, no one knows where he stands. The industry buzz is that he's taking a cooling-off period, possibly reevaluating the relationship behind closed doors. Some sources even hint that he's consulting with legal and PR experts to protect his image in case the story gets out in a more scandalous form. Brand consequences. Will sponsors pull back? Beyond the emotional fallout, there's a commercial risk at play. Bai Lu is currently tied to several major endorsements, luxury skincare, designer handbags, and a well-known tech brand. If rumors surrounding a love triangle gain momentum, sponsors might reassess their association. It's not just about morality, says a branding strategist in Beijing. It's about perception. If the public starts viewing Bai Lu as someone involved in a messy romantic scandal, brands targeting a clean, aspirational image might quietly distance themselves. Rui Peng, too, is at a critical career junction. His breakout lead role was supposed to launch him into the next tier of male leads. But if he's painted as the third wheel in a romantic controversy, casting directors and brands may hesitate. This industry loves fresh faces, but only when they're spotless, says one entertainment columnist. However, it's worth noting that scandals, especially romantic ones, don't always ruin careers. Sometimes they make them. The public loves drama. They want to believe their favorite stars are living just as passionately off-screen, one veteran publicist explained. It's all about how you spin it. The real cost, trust broken or bonds deepened. What's happening behind the scenes now is likely a mix of damage control, emotional fallout, and career recalibration. But for the three people at the heart of the storm, Bai Lu, Rui Peng, and the unnamed boyfriend, the deeper toll may be personal. Trust, once broken in such a public and humiliating way, is hard to rebuild. And if feelings really did develop between Bai Lu and Rui Peng, even if never acted upon, it may change how they see each other forever. Some sources claim that Bai Lu has been in close contact with Ao since the party, possibly out of concern or guilt. Others say she's gone cold, perhaps fearing that any continued connection could ignite more rumors. But one producer close to the drama suggests that the story may not be finished. Sometimes these kinds of tensions don't end in breakups.